Hello everyone. You're going to have to ignore the slight sniffle here and there. I'm getting a sinus infection, which is never fun. What we have in front of us is an out-of-box review. It's a 1700 Blue Steel Heavy Cruiser. I'm not up on Japanese pronunciations, but Takeo is what I think that is. Takeo. One of the two. I know someone's going to correct me when they see this. This model is by Hiroshima. It's from Arpeggio of the Blue Steel. I'm sure I'm saying that word wrong too. You know, it's one of those things, when you have pressure to say the word correctly, you will say it wrong. Just saying. Okay? But let's take a look what's in the box. This anime was on Netflix up until a little while ago. You can find it on YouTube. I've watched a little bit of it on YouTube. It's an interesting thing. Not in English, it's subtitled. Now, I've already done this review a couple of times. And I'm redoing it again, mainly because I was working 60, 70 hours a week the first time I did it. And I didn't like it when I put it in the computer to review. First thing we're going to get is some clear parts. It does come with some clear parts. And I'm going to have to be patient because I know what the autofocus is like on this camera. A little slow. And I'm too close. Probably. There we go. This is for the bridge. Okay? You get some stand-ups. With swimsuit, without swimsuit. And fully clothed. You get some stand-ups that come with the model. 2 sets of decals. The blue glyphs and white glyphs. Don't know why we get 2 sets of decals, but we do. Okay. It is a full hull model. Now, one thing about this is based off a World War II heavy cruiser. They just took World War II ships and converted them over to a future use. So part of this is that these propeller doors get closed. And here's the parts that close them. Anything molded in blue like this is new casting. Okay? Anything molded in gray is the original World War II cruiser. And if you look at how they mold this, that's got a... I think it's done really well. It looks good. The panel lines are good. They are raised, which I'm not a fan of, but being a World War II ship, we're going to give it we'll give it a pass on there, because maybe it was actually raised. I don't know. I'm not up on my World War II. Why don't I set the box aside, put the parts down on this white background, and zoom a bit so we can take a look a little bit closer at them. Okay? These are the flaps that cover the propeller doors, and again, these are extra parts that are specific to the new release. Let's set those aside. The direction, this is the painting guide, decal guide, we'll talk about that in a minute. Here's the first part of the hull, upper hull. That was the underside, this is the upper side. Okay. So there you can see it. It doesn't look bad at all. Let me see if I can find the rest of the hole and we do this in somewhat of a logical fashion. There's another part of it. There are some really fine little parts on this thing too. We're going to talk about that as we go. Here is another set of sprue. This is a radio mast, as far as I can tell, and that is going to be a challenge. The good thing is you get 2 of them. You'll see the other one in a minute. And here's some more detail on the hull. Looks good. It does look like a good clean molding. Okay, now here's the front part of the hull. Right here. I'm looking up at the camera to make sure we're catching everything. Now this apparently is an insert to help brace the hull so it doesn't collapse on here. One of the smokestacks, because these things were steam driven way back in the day. believe it or not. Some of these extra parts, another radio mast. And here's that second radio mast I was talking about, with a replacement bridge and a few other replacement parts. Now, here's the fiddly bits. You get a lot of fiddly bits with this thing. I'm going to pull the camera back some, wrong way, so we can take a better look at these parts overall. Okay, we have more radio mast, and they're all thin, delicate little parts. More along there. And I don't know where any of these parts go without looking at the direction. I do know this thing has a lot of guns on it. And here's some of the guns. And here's more of the guns. And more radio parts. And speaking of guns, here's a lot of guns. And I'm going to say something. If you're a kit basher and you want to build a space battleship, get a real battleship. Look at all these guns on here. You know, the space battleship Yamato has guns all over the side of it. Well, this thing has lots of these things. Look, more gun barrels along here. Lifeboats. And again, lots of little guns, and the gun barrels on them, I wouldn't even brush on them because of fear of breaking them. Which says something about their molding process, because I don't see any mismoldings on any of those guns. We have more delicate little parts for radio masts too, right in here. And you guessed it, more guns. I'm going to zoom on this thing because this is a really small little part. Okay, and there's lots of little delicate pieces on that one, and you get not one but two sprues of it. We'll look at the directions in a minute. Maybe some of you will recognize where these things go. Another sprue. This is a small sprue of gray parts. And again, sometimes things are duplicated because they were working on a upgraded version of it, and they just gave you all the original ship. So if you had the directions, you could build the original ship from this, because all the parts are there. They didn't hold back. They remolded them anyhow, whether you use them or not, which doesn't upset me at all. So I got lots of extra freebies. Speaking of extra freebies, it even comes with World War II planes, float planes. You have two identical sprue of these guys in 1/700 scale with decals and directions in our own separate little baggie. Okay? And gun turrets. There's lots of gun turrets there too. See, here's the directions for it and decals. And you have gun turrets, you have all sorts of stuff. This is a bonus because I can't find the planes anywhere in the directions because this isn't World War II. And it came in a separate bag, so they didn't have to include this. So I'm happy for it because I could use those gun turrets on a lot of scratch building. That's something I want to get into, is start scratch building a few things here and there. Yeah, with all my free time, right? That's sarcasm. If you know my life, you'll understand that comment. Okay, we have a few polycaps. Those are for the guns, main guns. We have a stand, a chromed stand, and a wood stand. I don't like chrome because the attachment points invariably look bad when you clip them off the chrome sprue. So I typically strip chrome and redo it. But that's just me. Some people leave that. And then there is a piece of cardboard in here to separate the chrome parts from the non-chrome parts so you don't scratch them up. Let's pull the directions and take a look at those so you can see what you're getting into. They are not color like some model companies do, but that I don't have a problem with that. Having color directions sometimes distracts. If you read Japanese, you can read the whole backstory here. I think there might be some English on there. It looks that way. Yes, there is some English on here. So they've got this in multiple languages. Choking hazard warnings and stuff like that right here. Wrong way. There we go. So here's our directions. I love sprue maps. Don't ever really use them, but it's nice to have the sprue map there. Part of it's grayed out, so I'm assuming we don't use the grayed out parts. I'm not sure of that. Optional parts, yes. The grayed out ones are optional parts. It's labeled. They are part English, part Japanese. It's nice to see that on directions from Japan. Bandai does not do that. They're getting a little bit better about it, but they usually don't. It's just all Japanese. Okay. At first, you're building guns. You build 4 of those. You build 2 of those. You build 3 of these. So this thing has quite a few weapons on it. You build smokestacks. It has paint colors as you go, so you can paint these before you assemble. You build radio mast, 2 of them. Then you build your main bridge. And this is where the clear goes, so you could actually light up that bridge with an LED, and it shouldn't be too hard to do. Then you build the hull, and you put the guns on. And the guns, again, are put on with polycaps, so they may rotate. I don't think the gun barrels will rotate. Yeah, they can, because it says drill out the gun. They're actually telling you to drill out the gun barrels back here. It doesn't say anything about no glue, so I don't know if they will rotate or not. I'd have to look when I put them together, but I suspect you're going to glue the gun barrels in. But it's designed so you can glue them at different elevations if you really want to. Okay? Well, on the flip side, over here, this is where you put the main bridge together. Lots of little pieces go on that main bridge. Lots of little pieces. Okay, lots of gun emplacements too. And final assembly. Now, nowhere do I see a radio antenna guide on this. Let's look at the decal placement sheet. Okay, the painting guide, decal guide. It gets painted some nice bluish colors. It is an anime, so that would be why. Okay, and it does show the mast wiring on here some, but not in high detail, and I would use some thread for that. If not thread, I'm sure you could stretch some sprue like some people do, and that right there looks like that's going to be a lot of fun to do. So if you want it to look right, you're going to have to do that. Interesting color choices on this. It's purplish blue. Again, it's an anime. You should expect some funny color choices at times. Well, there you go. If you wanted to build a boat, but you're a sci-fi builder, well, this is for you, because you're doing both. If you just want something with a lot of good spare parts to kit bash with, oh, this is wonderful for that. You got plenty of guns in one of these kits. If you're an anime person and you like the blue steel, well, I wouldn't stop you from getting this. It looks like a very nice little kit. Honestly, it looks very nice. You could build your World War II ship or your anime version because it comes with stuff for both. Okay? You could build both. It comes with all the original parts from the original ship. So, it's a nice kit. If you're interested, dig one out. If not, it's not your thing, then, well, thanks for watching. Because I kind of want to build it, but I kind of have other things. We will see. I might make it a long-term one where I put a few parts together here and there. Simply because of the way my life is right now. I have little to no free time for anything. And it's just this phase of life. That will change in the future. We all know that. Children get older. Jobs calm down. That's one of the problems I have is my business has been getting busier and busier. And it eats up more of my free time. And when that's eating up your free time, you got little time for anything else. And the first thing that goes is your hobbies. I'm sad to say that. Well, anyhow, I'm going to get going because I have some free time and I'm probably going to spend it on this. because it's right at painting time for this. I'm going to mask the canopy first, and that's probably what I'm going to spend the rest of my day doing, is masking this canopy. Okay? So that I may paint that and start painting the interior of this thing. I know I got the Maquet kit left. I know I've got the Enterprise to work on, but I want to finish the Eggplane before I really dig into the Enterprise. It won't take long to finish the Eggplane. Alright, I'll be back. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.